Right now, deep inside your skull, your hippocampus is erasing memories you made today, and you won't feel it happening. The sleep scientists who mapped this process admit they cannot stop it or control what gets cut. But high performers have found one protocol that biases the decision. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what it is. Every night, your brain doesn't just rest. It runs a triage system, and it is actively deleting, not corrupting, not filing incorrectly, deleting. That conversation you had this morning, the skill you practiced for 2 hours, the insight you were certain you'd remember, all of it goes into a queue, most of it gets cut before dawn. The hippocampus, your brain's memory filing system, holds everything you experience in a temporary, fragile state. It was never built to last. During slow-wave sleep, the brain systematically strips back synaptic connections, the precise pathways that formed when you learned something today. Researchers call it synaptic downscaling. You can call it what it actually is, scheduled forgetting while you sleep every night. And here's what they don't tell you. The forgetting is not random. Imagine every experience you had today left a faint chemical impression like a groove carved in soft wax. By the end of the day, thousands of those grooves exist. Your hippocampus holds all of them in temporary storage, like RAM before a computer writes to disk. When you fall into deep sleep, slow electrical waves roll across your cortex. During those waves, the hippocampus replays the day fast, compressed like a film running at 10 times speed. Each memory fires again, briefly. The ones that fire repeatedly, the ones that carry emotional weight, the ones anchored to something you already know, those get written to long-term storage. Kept, the rest. The connection weakens, the groove gets wiped. By morning, those memories are not sleeping somewhere waiting to be retrieved. They are structurally gone. We're getting to how to interrupt this. But first, why even the experts who discovered it can't help? The researchers who first described synaptic homeostasis placed it in the category of a feature, not a flaw. The brain must prune to avoid saturation. If every synapse from every day survived, the system would collapse within weeks. The pruning is chemical, structural, and almost entirely autonomous. No conscious override exists. No intervention selectively protects one memory while cutting another. Pharmacological approaches have been tried. Sleep stage manipulation, targeted sound and scent cues during slow-wave sleep. The results don't generalize. The mechanism is too distributed, too deep in the architecture. Sleep scientists can shift the timing. They cannot change the selection. Which means every night, your brain is making decisions about your future recall, your future competence, your future performance, and no one has been able to give you control over it. Until you look at what happens in the 20 minutes before sleep starts. Here is where everything you believe about sleep hygiene breaks down. You've been told more sleep is always better. A longer night means more consolidation. That if you're forgetting too much, the fix is simple: sleep longer. That is not what the data shows. Extended sleep increases the number of slow-wave cycles the brain runs. More cycles means more pruning passes. And if your brain enters those cycles with nothing strongly anchored, it cuts deeper. People who sleep 9 or 10 hours after an unfocused day show measurably worse retention than people who slept 7 hours after a deliberate one. Sleep length doesn't protect your memories. What you do in the final 20 minutes before sleep does. And if you spend those 20 minutes scrolling a screen, you are actively accelerating the deletion. Passive consumption in that window suppresses the very signals the hippocampus needs to flag what survives. Here is what high performers do instead, and almost nobody talks about this specifically. Surgeons, athletes, musicians, military planners, many report a version of the same instinctive behavior before sleep. They review, not anxiously, not broadly, deliberately and calmly and specifically. They take 3 to 5 minutes and mentally walk back through the exact things they need to retain. The skill they drilled, the sequence they cannot afford to lose, the insight that shifted something. This is not journaling, this is not gratitude practice. This is targeted hippocampal priming. When you consciously replay a memory in the minutes before sleep with focused attention and mild emotional weight, you flag it. The hippocampus, preparing for its overnight replay cycle, waits for recency and salience. A memory you just activated is more likely to fire during the replay wave. A memory that fires during that wave gets written to long-term storage instead of pruned. You are not creating the memory twice. You are telling your brain, this one matters, keep it. Tonight, before your eyes close, take 3 minutes. No phone, no tomorrow's schedule. Just this, walk through the one skill you practiced, the one conversation that mattered, the one idea you want to carry forward. Feel the actual detail, not a summary. End it there. That is the entire protocol. Consistent repetition across weeks will measurably shift which version of you wakes up. But the hippocampus is not the only structure running deletions overnight. There is a second region, one almost never named outside research literature that does something more precise and more damaging. It doesn't erase what you learned. It rewrites how you feel about it. And that process has been running in you every night for your entire life.